Hey, man.
Hi, Sid. How you doing, mate?
Good, man. Good to see you. I missed you last week, but it's cool. So, let's get down to it. I remember that we forgot to speak about the India-New Zealand series, which was like a long time ago, so we'll just do it very briefly. I know they won the series 2-1. Two of the pitches were substandard. I know Hardik Pandya was not happy with them, but the third pitch was a real belter, although India crushed New Zealand like hell. So what were your quick thoughts on that series? I think we did predict India to win a 2-1.
Are you referring to the T20 or the ODI series?
T20, yeah, T20. The ODI pitches were a lot better than the T20.
Yeah, look, I think the pitches were pretty, as you say, substandard in the sense. Really, really difficult for New Zealand in the sense that they didn't really, they weren't able to, I'd say, get acclimatized to the conditions, quick enough, and that's what obviously happened. But yeah, I mean, India were way too dominant, and they've been way too dominant at home against most teams. So it was no surprise, eh?
Okay, let's get down to the next segment. Okay, let's go to India, Australia. Another dominant performance by India. This match was a lot more competitive in the first 2 days, and the third day, I don't know what happened. I think, yeah, I mean, Australian mental demons got the better of them. I admit the pitch wasn't the best, but if you applied yourself, at least it could have gone maybe to the fourth day. What do you think, man? It's pretty humiliating, man, to see an Australian side get beaten under 3 days twice.
Yeah, I mean, this is the nature of it, especially when Western teams actually come to the subcontinent, and India as such. I mean, you're not going to get it your own way. I think Australia, in the sense that, they didn't really learn from their mistakes of the last game, where they also crumble in that second innings. And that second innings is so crucial as well. They needed something. They needed something their bowlers could bowl. I think 200, I think 180, 200 would have been tricky, sir. I really think it would have been tricky on that pitch. 180, 200. So that's the thing Australia could have done. But woeful in application. I mean, we kind of expected this. We kind of expected this before the series was going to start, because Australia, we know that they have problems against spin. We all know they have problems against spin, and it's showing here now. I think against good quality spin bowling, like the likes of Axar, you've got Ashwin, you've got Ravi Ashwin, you've got Jade, you've got Jadeja. Three guys that are masters of their craft on Indian conditions. There is no way that Australia are going to have it their own way on those pitches, and unfortunately, they've got to learn on the job. They've got to learn on the job. Going at the moment, you could quite easily see this. You could quite easily see Australia getting rolled over in the last two tests, unless something miraculous happens. I honestly can't see it happening at the moment, and this is good signs for the Proteas as well, because I mean they're playing the Windies in a few days' time, and they'll be looking at the series with bated breath. Eh?
I have bad news for you. Actually, the Proteas are not going through to the finals. I sent you a link on the Facebook, because the only way the Proteas could have gone through is if India played really pathetically. Either the scoreline was under 3-0, and of course, if Australia win the next two tests, or if they win 2-1, then obviously they may have a chance in hell, I think. I know the only team that has a chance now in hell is Sri Lanka, but they'll have to beat New Zealand 2-0. But that's another story on its own. So.
What I was saying, I mean, we're not saying the Proteas are through. We're not saying the Proteas, but I'm saying they do have an opportunity to go through if
no chance.
Australia lose 4-0. If Australia lose 4-0.
No. Actually, Australia was actually supposed to do us a favor, not India. India had to do pathetically to do us a favor, ironically. So it was never actually that. I sent you a link on the ESPN Quick Info, what the permutations were. And to be fair, we don't really deserve to be in the finals because we kind of sabotaged ourselves with England and then Australia, so it's fine. We can at least try and qualify for the 50 World Cup and do a lot better. Or better yet, our female women can win us the SA20 Cup, which is actually in South Africa. Who would have thought the women are showing the men how to do it?
I mean, I'm so proud of this team. I'm really so proud of this team. So I mean, I didn't actually watch the game yesterday, but I mean, I was following it on ESPN, and wow, I mean, I'm so
Okay.
proud of the ladies. I mean, getting to the final. I
Hmm.
mean, after that hiccup in that opening game against Sri Lanka, I mean, everybody
Hmm.
was thinking, boy, oh boy. I mean, here we go again. The choke is
Hmm.
on, so and so. But I mean, the character this team has shown. I mean, even last week
Hmm.
against Australia, I mean, they lost that game, and we were thinking to ourselves, is this team going to qualify out of the group? But I mean, they
Hmm.
got the job done against Bangladesh. But I mean, that performance against England was something to behold. It was
Hmm.
nail-biting stuff, and they held their nerve. They
Yeah.
were so disciplined against a very good attack. I'm sorry, a very good team
Hmm.
in England. And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, you know what? No matter what happens tomorrow, and obviously I'd love them to win as well.
Yeah.
You cannot be proud of this team. You cannot
Of course.
say you're not proud of this
Yeah.
team already. I mean, go to the
Yeah.
final. And I was just
Yeah.
joking with my bro the other day because I mean he's an Indian fan, and he was
Okay.
talking about India and England final, and I said to myself, I mean, wow, imagine if we get say Australia final. I mean, imagine how the country is going to come together and watch this one. And
I
here
know.
we go, here we go. We got that final, we got that dream final at Cape Town tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think SA would obviously fancy those conditions because I mean they won their last two games at Cape Town, beating Bangladesh and beating England so memorably yesterday. And England have had the wood over us, in certain knockout games. So I was quite happy. I was quite happy the ladies got one over the Poms yesterday.
I've been noticing all these fixtures, and most of them have been in Cape Town. Why is that? Why is Durban being neglected? Why is Joburg being neglected?
I think there's a lot of first-class cricket as well in
Uh-huh.
those provinces at the moment. You see, there's some
Ah,
first-class cricket with the Dolphins and the Lions
yeah,
and
okay.
stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it should be spread over. But I think it's also with
Hmm.
regards to the traveling and stuff because it's such a short tournament
Hmm.
that you don't
Hmm.
want a lot of
Hmm. Hmm.
traveling. So I think Cape Town.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know the facilities in Cape Town is world class, Sid,
Okay.
especially
Uh,
for yeah. So I mean, you're always going to get good hospitality in Cape Town. So I think that's the reason why
hmm.
they chose Cape Town. So yeah, a bit
Hmm.
disappointing, but I'm going to be glued to my seat tomorrow at 3 o'clock and watching this game. This is
Yeah.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a memorable game. I really do think so. I think the Proteas
And
do have a chance.
yeah, we definitely have nothing to lose, and we must just play with that attitude. But England started so well in that power play. When I watched the highlights, I really thought they were going to win it, and then I saw quite a meltdown. Not as bad as Australia's meltdown in the Test matches, but that was a meltdown. Even India's meltdown was more shocking than England's because India had it in their grasp, man. But anyway, I'm over it now. Let the Proteas do it tomorrow. So
Yeah,
yeah,
come on, come on. I mean, come on, girls. I mean, let's do this. Let's do this. Protea fire all the way tomorrow. I mean, let's hope. I mean, they've done the country proud already, but I mean, to get there and beat this Australian machine. If I call this
mm,
Australian women's team a machine, a cricketing machine. I mean, if you look at their record in tournaments, you look at their
yeah,
record in general. I mean, this
yeah.
is a formidable team, Sid. And if they can beat this Australian side, Australia will be under pressure. They will definitely be under pressure as favorites.
Of
As you say,
course.
SA have nothing to lose.
Yeah, yeah.
Australia have SA have nothing to lose, and
Mm.
I just hope the ladies are having a look at that 2016 final when the Windies woman actually beat Australia
Oh
in
yes, fun. That
Eden
was fun.
Gardens in Calcutta on that day that we saw that brilliant knock from Carlos Brathwaite to take
Yeah,
England to take the Windies home in that epic
yeah.
final. I think that was probably the best T20 final I've ever seen. Wow.
Mm, mm,
Uh, I mean, hitting Ben
yeah,
Stokes out of the park 4 times
yeah.
in 4 consecutive balls. So, yeah, I hope they're looking at that video and I hope they see I hope they can get inspiration from what the Windies ladies did in 2016 and
Yeah.
and hopefully down the Aussies tomorrow because, I mean, that would be really, really special. That would be really, really special. And
Yeah.
it would really lift women's cricket in this country. It would give them I would think it'd give them a platform now. If they had to win this tournament, it would give them such a platform
Mm.
to actually go forward and do amazing things. But I mean, I'm so proud of the girls already. Reaching the final against Australia tomorrow it's unbelievable.
Mm.
So I mean, go Protea, fire.
Yeah, this win for the women will kind of remind me of the World Cup that SA won at home. So it'll be similar to that. Obviously not as big, but it'll be just as good, if that makes sense. Nothing like winning in front of your home crowd.
When you're talking, when you're referring a World Cup, which World Cup are you referring to, Sid?
I was referring to the 1995 Rugby World Cup, which is
Oh,
safely won.
okay. I mean, that was really special. That was really iconic because of Madiba and
Unification.
stuff. So
Yes. So this will
yeah,
be
definitely. I mean,
that'll be nice.
absolutely. I mean, just imagine if Madiba was still alive. I mean, he'd be proud of
Yeah.
them as well. Uh, and remember, we also won AFCON as well, the African Cup of Nations in '96 as well, at home.
Wow.
So yeah, so yeah, but
Okay,
I
let's
mean,
get
95 was really special, really special.
okay, let's get down to England, New Zealand. Bad ball is still kicking, and the first test England won by a mammoth 267 runs. And if you look at the second test, England are pretty much dominating New Zealand. If it wasn't for the rain, I think this match would be pretty much over by tomorrow. But I think rain is giving this match some heartbeats here. England made 435 for 8, New Zealand 138 for 7. I think we're going to the third day. I think England's probably going to wrap it up by the fourth day. What do you think, man? A bad ball.
You know what? I'm actually amazed by what I'm seeing here from New Zealand as well. I think New Zealand cricket is not in a good space at the moment. Eh? There's a lot of players that are quitting their national contracts. You look at like guys like Trent Bolt. I mean, they're actually earning more playing T20 leagues than getting a New Zealand contract because I mean, obviously New Zealand pool limited. There's only so much of budget that you can, pay these. There's only so much you can pay these players with regards to national contracts. So this is affecting New Zealand very badly. And you know how the mighty have fallen, Sid? How the mighty have fallen because New Zealand were formidable at home at one stage. And England's record in New Zealand in recent times has been quite poor, quite atrocious, if you ask me. So I'm really amazed by what I'm seeing from New Zealand at the moment. This absolute, like, what can I say? It's a kind of a downfall. It's kind of an era. It's probably like you're probably coming to an end of an era here with this New Zealand side, eh? That they've got to look to rebuild so and so. I mean, what we went through as well with the Proteas and stuff, and so yeah. I mean, New Zealand have been so formidable at home for so long, but I mean, baseball is really just overpowering them, to a point where I mean, they've got no answers.
I guess yeah, the battle continues to be. I mean, to watch some of these matches live, watching sixes and fours, and then oh, hey, I'm sorry, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's get to the last segment. And we got 3 days and shooting and some that happened. But Boom is now captain. I know we did endorse him. Expected it to happen. McKenzie is batting consultant, and then fun because England coach. Funny because development.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you talk about Bavuma as captain. I mean, I've got no doubts that I, I have no doubts that he'll do well as a captain because I mean, this is his format, eh? This is his format. I mean, if you look at his record, his record is much better in ODI cricket and in Test cricket. I mean, although he hasn't got that second Test century, but he's played so many crucial innings, down the years, and bailed the Proteas out so many times. So I've got no doubt that he'll do well, and I think it's a good thing that they're letting this pressure off Dean Elgar as captain because I mean, Dean Elgar, I think he's still valuable to the side at the moment, Sid, as a batter, and he's got such an important role in this team as an opening batter. So I think this pressure of Dean Elgar is very, very important at the moment. I think obviously Elgar will always be there as a helping hand in the sense that if Bavuma obviously need some advice on the field as well. But I think this is a good move. I think this is a good move to release Dean Elgar of his captaincy and let him focus on his batting, because to be fair, his batting has been awful ever since he's taken over as A.
Yeah, I think the one time his batting was all right was when India came down to South Africa and he batted well as a test afterwards he's been pretty dreadful. So I think obviously with India's up coming down, just check on the squad. I think, well, let's give a quick and I think it will win 2-0. Those pitches are going to suit them to the team. What are your thoughts, man?
I like the sound of that. I do like the sound of that. Well, I mean, it is on the high felt, obviously. It is on the high felt at the Wanderers and Centurion, which is not very good grounds for visiting teams, and especially the Windies as such. I know the Windies did win a test match here, and that was years ago again in PE. But I also think PE is not one of the Proteas' happy hunting grounds as well. They don't really do that well in PE for some reason. I don't know why. But I think Wanderers and Centurion will definitely suit them. The hard, bouncy pitches of the Highveld. And as you say, if they play to the potential, they should win the series too, barring any hiccups. But I mean, the Windies have a few dangerous players. We got to be wary of that. I mean, you got the likes of Brathwaite. You got Tangerine Chandrapal. You've got, Jermaine Blackwood, Shamar Brooks. On their day, these players can come to the party. And you've got Alzari Joseph, bowler as well. So they do have a few dangerous players. But I think if you're just looking at, normal, say, you're just out and you're looking at both teams and home conditions and stuff, you probably say this one, you probably put in the bag for the Proteas. All they have to do is just play to their potential and, they should win it.
Yeah, let's check up my link on those permutations because I know that we are out, which is sad, but I think the way I'm looking at it, it'll be Australia-India final, and then that's fine. The favorites in England, the bowlers will be. But I think India has this mental confidence against Australia. So I really think it makes much difference with the venue, provided the party bats first. But let's see what happens with the rest of the series. And probably the only way Australia will draw in India is if India was a real flat pitch, which I hear it could be, but I hope not because 1-0 does sound good. I wouldn't mind an Asian final if Sri Lanka can beat New Zealand. It might actually be the best chance because New Zealand might be a bit deflated, and then Sri Lanka can just go out there with nothing to lose, Never know.
So Sri Lanka is actually going to New Zealand, am I right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be a tough one for New Zealand, I feel. For Sri Lanka, I feel, because, I mean, no matter what, I think subcontinent teams really battle in New Zealand because of the swing and sea movement. So that's going to be a tough tour for Sri Lanka, I feel. No matter how poorly New Zealand are playing at the moment, albeit against an England side that are really on top of their game at the moment in Test match cricket, and baseball is like doing its thing. So, I mean, England is obviously way different opposition compared to Sri Lanka. So, I think they probably want to get some redemption against Sri Lanka. So, I'd expect New Zealand to win that series against Sri Lanka. And as you said, I expect South Africa to beat the West Indies at home. They should beat the Windies at home. And
yeah,
I guess we're all looking at Australia and India as well. I mean, 4-0 Australia. I mean, I think it was in January, I saw an Australian journalist say that if Australia draw 3-0 in India or they win 3-1, they would go through. If they don't do that, there's a possibility they could fall out if they lose 4-0. So I'm still hopeful that India can beat Australia 4-0.
No, I think they will probably, but I read so much of those permutations. I sent you links, so that's why I know that we're out. I think India had to do so crap for us to have a chance and help, which is kind of funny, Who would have thought we would have been dependent on Australia? Who would have thought? But India will never do crap at home. The pitches suit them to the T. I think it's now like India could win, even if India win 3-0, they through, which means Australia will go through because of the one draw. I mean, Australia's chances of going out is so unlikely because Sri Lanka to beat New Zealand 2-0 is also unlikely. So I think it's like this. Australia can like just chill, lose 4-0, have the revenge in the final. It just works for them.
Yeah, I just think the Proteas just got to start enjoying their cricket again. They just got to start playing and enjoying their cricket.
Yeah,
let's see how
just don't worry about. Yeah, I think that's pretty much a wrap on my side.
I think the problem with that England and Australia series was there was too much focus on that World Test Championship, and I think that actually put them under pressure as well because they wanted to get that so badly. But anyways, this is a team in rebuilding phase, and you can't expect miracles to happen, especially in Test cricket where it's the toughest format. It's the toughest format of the game. I mean, it doesn't get any tougher than Test cricket. So I think they just need to start enjoying their cricket and start getting getting that confidence. And the only way they can get confidence is start getting some wins under their belt, which I think they will.
Yeah, I think we need to have like Australian type pitches. The Australian pitches that become spicy, but they're not like uneven, if that makes sense. I mean, they're fair pitches. What do you think? Australian pitches, New Zealand pitches, even pitches in Dubai.
Absolutely, and to be fair, we used to have those pitches before. Until Otis came in.
Oh yes.
And he started doing his own thing. Yeah. And preparing all these green mambas and trying to bounce teams out. So look, to be honest with you,
we have to play tough for it.
I just want to say something. To be honest with you,
okay.
When you're talking about these fair pitches, it also brings the opposition into the game as well. Because if they bat well, they can make runs on those pitches as well. So I think it makes for a good contest, but I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon, eh? Are we?
You know what's funny? I like the pitches we prepared against Bangladesh because though the spinners took a truckload of wickets, the batsman could also bowl on them. It's not like the batsman didn't get any swing movement. So I liked those pitches. I don't mind those pitches. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah, definitely. I do hope we do get those kind of pitches as well. But I mean, that obviously was on the coast. So I mean, the coastal conditions are obviously a lot different compared to the high veld. But the one pitch that I do love in this country is Newlands. I think Newlands is great value for cricket, and I think we see some great Test matches at Newlands as well. I think the pitch at Newlands always plays well right up to the final day 3, day 4. It's always a good pitch. And if you're a chasing team, you can always back yourself at Newlands to chase any score down. So that's the one ground that I do love. Watching Test cricket in, especially Test matches as well. So we can always hope for better pitches. We can always hope for better, and all we want is a good contest between bat and ball.
Okay, I think before we wrap off, let's make quick predictions. Okay, fine. I'll say SA to win the women's final, and I'll say India to beat Australia, and then to go and SA to win 2-0 against West Indies. That's pretty much it.
Okay, I mean, you know me very well. There's no way in hell I'm going to support Australia tomorrow. So, Proteas ladies all the way tomorrow. Proteas ladies all the way tomorrow against the Aussies. And I expect India. I'm expecting India to give Australia a 4-0 drubbing here in this test. I really do. I think Australia are depleted. They're running out of ideas. The captain has gone home at the moment, Pat Cummins. So, I mean, they're lacking leadership as well. So I think Australia are definitely 4-0 India here. New Zealand, and I think England are going to overpower them. I think there's enough time for England to thrash New Zealand. Yeah. So I think England are going to win that 2-0, and then obviously the Proteas. I expect them to get the job done 2-0 against the Windies.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you there. Couldn't hear you there towards the end.
Yeah, I was saying England have enough time to steamroll New Zealand, so I expect them to win 2-0. And then I expect the Proteas to get the job done against the Windies.
Okay, all right. That's pretty much a wrap. I shall see you soon.
Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Chat to you soon, mate.